Ladies and Habibis, we are going to introduction to you rising star of South Asia. He is very well educated. He knows Islam and Christianity very well. He done what they said he can. He is Doctor.
Alhamdulillah.
Wait a minute, what are you doing, Zakir? You come out, it's not you. Habibi, take him out. Sorry, there was some problem. He's Adam Sikher.
Hello everyone, this is your favorite Murtid. Salamul Masih, peace of Christ be with each and every one of you. I hope you guys are having fun. And hello, welcome back. This is your favorite Murtad live once again on our weekly stream, Pacific 6:30 p.m. as always every Thursday. And today we are going to talk about jihad. You know, it's a very diversified subject, and a lot of pretzels are being made on this word. So we are going to work on this word today, and we are going to comprehend it. We're going to try to comprehend it. We're going to try to understand this word. Because when we speak with Muslims around the globe, and I'm talking about around the globe, right? The first thing that comes out of their mouth when they're speaking with non-Muslims is jihad is only spiritual. It's internal. Jihad means not fighting. Really? Is that true? What does jihad means? Oh, it means struggle. Brother, it means struggle. You know, when you struggle to stay away from bad deeds, it's like struggle. It has nothing to do with fighting. Really? Is that true? Are you sure? Where did you get this from? Oh, our beloved Prophet said the best jihad is to have a jihad spiritually. Really? Really? I thought something else. You know, uh, let's ask Google. I would say, Google, what is the best jihad? AI will tell us. Okay, even sometimes the AI is good as well. The Google AI. If you ask the Google, tell me the best jihad in Hadith. Simple question. Tell me the best jihad in Hadith. Let's zoom in. The best jihad in Hadith. Yet, the best jihad is the one in which your horse is slain and your blood is spilled. Oh, but like I just thought people were saying the best jihad is the internal jihad. It is the internal jihad. Even the Google is saying the otherwise. Either, brother, Google Prophet is so wrong. You do not know. Google Prophet is always wrong. All right, let's go to sunnah.com. There you go. This is the hadith. Kitabul Jihad. It says Kitabul Jihad, book of jihad. And it says Al-Qital fi Sabilillah. And it says, I came to Prophet and said, O Messenger of Allah, which jihad is the best? And he said, who's that of a man whose blood is shed and his horse is wounded. So this is the best jihad. Okay, that's point number one, Milord. Point number one, Milord. That's just point number one. I have a lot of points to give it to you today. Even with the Google jihad is actually giving this hadith anyways. But you know, we can go in a lot of details when it comes to this. But I think we have a customer to begin with. Let's see what does he has to say. Mr. Truth.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi, good. Yeah, good, good. Yeah, Adam. I think you still remember me, right?
No, I do not.
I'm the last time. I'm the guy that asked you about the Tabari translation.
Okay, so what?
But it's
Okay, you're not
okay.
a
It's okay.
Muslim.
No, no. I'm not. I'm not a Muslim.
Okay, so I'm talk.
Yeah.
I'm today. I'm talking
Uh,
about jihad. Okay, you have these kind of
mm.
questions. Join my Discord. Okay, my Discord link is in the video description. Join my Discord, and we'll have discussions there. If you have other questions, send me DMs there, and as soon as I see some DM, I'll be able to reply back to you. Okay.
uh, I'm not asking about any question. Actually, I'm just here to uh, just to just to inform you about some things. Do you know that this Quran Surah 929,
Do you
this
want me
was
to inform?
written,
Do you want to inform me something? Inform me in Discord. All right.
this code?
Please join my Discord. Yes, that's the my stream is for Muslims to refute me, and I'm doing a topic which is jihad.
Oh, sorry.
So let me
I
do the
thought it was for
topic.
all people.
Join
Okay,
my
okay.
Discord, and I there inform me about stuff.
Okay, sorry.
All right,
Okay.
no worries. Take care. Bye. All right. With that being said, guys, listen. The link here is for the one who wants to refute me. Otherwise, I have Discord where people can interact with me if they like to. And please don't interrupt the flow of the stream. That's point number one. Point number two is please share the stream with your friends, especially your Muslim friends if possible. I am sharing the tweet as well. If you have a Twitter account, please do retweet this stream. Let the people come and bring your Muslim friends who all of those friends of yours who has been telling you that jihad is spiritual, jihad is internal, it is internal, it is spiritual. Please bring them. Today is the day where we talk with them, where jihad is internal, jihad is spiritual. Okay. uh, I'm gonna do multiple of these streams, but today is the beginning of it. I'm gonna open certain mind-boggling questions in your mind before I go into the Quran. And I'm going to show you over 70 verses of the Quran where the word jihad is mentioned, and plus another 80 verses of the Quran where qital or harb is mentioned. And you will see in the tafsir that the word jihad and harb are interchangeably written in the tafsirs. So all the early scholars agree to the basic fact that these are interchangeable words. When it says jihad fi sabilillah, it is equivalent to saying al-qital fi sabilillah. That's what it is, and that's what we are going to talk about here. With that being said, Radhika said, Adam, you are an ocean of knowledge and wisdom. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it. God bless you, Radhika. And yeah, let's just talk about jihad again. So where was I? Yes, the best jihad. You know, there are so many jihads, but this is the best jihad where the blood is shed and the horse is wounded. And Mr. P said, very good. The best of jihad are super chats sent to Adam Seeker. Like and subscribe. Be upon him. Alhamdulillah. Send him to the dog of Allah. He's hungry from the last 1400 years. But yeah, thank you so very much. This the best jihad is sending super. That's a new hadith, by the way. Thank you for this new hadith. I think this hadith will be written in the book of P. Thank you for writing the book of P, and in the book of P, it will be written as the best jihad. So appreciate it. Thank you so very much. That's a good one. I like it. I definitely like it. So let's go to Bukhari first now. How did Muhammad explain jihad? This is Bukhari 1519. This is the Kitab al Hajj. Okay. In the book of Hajj, imagine this is the book of Hajj, the pilgrimage. Okay. And it says the Prophet was asked, what is the best deed? The best of the best deed. All right. And he said to believe in Allah and his apostle, like to believe Allah and Muhammad. Number one, that best of the best. And then he was asked, what is the next? He said to participate in jihad in the cause of Allah. To participate in Allah's cause. In jihad in Allah's cause. Al jihad fi sabilillah. What do you participate in? A struggle. Struggle, brother. What is the best of jihad? Uh, where your horse is wounded and your blood is shed. To participate in that, that's the second best thing. The third best thing is doing Hajj. Hajj is the third best thing. So obviously, to do jihad in Allah's cause, you have to believe in Allah. You have to believe in Allah. Without that, how can you do jihad? If you don't even believe in Allah, you can't even do in jihad. So after believing in Allah, the best thing is what? To do jihad. Now, Muslims comes up and they talk about the so-called pillars of Islam. And they say you there are 5 pillars of Islam and jihad is not one of them. All right. And I would say, all right, that is perfect. Did Muhammad mention the pillars? Let's talk about that. This is the Kitabul Tawheed, the book of the oneness, the Kitab of Tawheed, the book of Tawheed. And what does it say? Check it out. A man asked the Prophet, what deeds are the best? The Prophet said, number one, to perform daily compulsory prayer at their earlier stage fixed time. Number two, to be good and dutiful to one's parents. And number three, to participate in jihad in Allah's cause. So even in Bukhari, there are contradictions on the best deeds. If we go here, what is the best deed? It is 1519. If we go here, 7534. What are the best deeds? You know, there are contradiction in the best deeds. Muhammad forgot what he mentioned at one time versus what he mentioned at another time. But that's a very common thing with Muhammad. He always forget what he told to the people before and what he is saying right now. Very common. This is how he rolled his, what do you call it? This is how I roll. I was watching a movie and this is how we roll, kind of a thing. And then people tell me there are 5 pillars in Islam and jihad is not one of them. Let's go to Mishkat, Kitabul Iman, and it talks about the 5 pillars. The testimony that there is no God but God, and that Muhammad is his servant and the messenger, the observer of the prayer, the payment of zakat, the pilgrimage, and the fast during Ramadan. Now you have 5 pillars, and people comes in and say, jihad is not one of them. Why is jihad not one of these pillars? Because all of these pillars comes into believing in Allah and Muhammad. Why? Let's look into this. Another hadith of the same book Mishkat or Kitabul Iman, just 10 hadiths down. I said, inform me, Messenger of Allah, of an act which will cause me to enter paradise. Now, Muhammad should say the 5 pillars, right? A deed which will take me to Jannah, and Muhammad should give you obviously 5 pillars, right? Check what he said. He replied, you have asked a serious question. Brother, that is a very serious question. But it is easy for the one whom God helps to answer. All right, so Allah is now going to help Muhammad to answer. Worship Allah, associate nothing with him, observe the prayer, pay the zakat, fast during Ramadan, and make the pilgrimage to the house. Now check what's going to happen now. He said, shall I not guide you to the gateway of what is good? Check this out. Now what is happening with the 5 pillars? The 5 pillars are now going to change. You're going to see an adaptation of the 5 pillars. So what is the gateway of good? Fasting is protection, and alms means zakat, extinguishes sin as water extinguishes fire, and a man prayer in the middle of the night. Then he recited withdrawing themselves from the clouds they have been doing. Then he said, shall I not guide you to the head and support of the matter and the top of its hump? Imagine, once you do these, what is the top notch thing? What is the top of the matter? What is the hump of a camel? You know, the camel's hump is the topmost thing in a camel, right? So what is the top? What is the what what is the roof, the top, the support, the hump, everything? Head, support, top. And I replied, yes. Now check this out. Messenger of Allah said, the head of the matter is Islam, its support is prayer, and the top of its hump is jihad. So the 5 pillars are now moved into 3. 5 pillars are now moved into 3, and jihad is added into it. Then he said, shall I not inform you of controlling of all of that? The Prophet of God. So he took hold of his tongue and said, restrain this. And I asked Prophet, should we really be punished for what we talk about? He replied, I'm surprised at you, Muad. Will anything but the harvest of the tongue overthrow men into hell on their faces or nostrils? Now, does internal jihad is talking about tongue? Yes. But then what is he talking about when he's talking about jihad? It's the fighting in the cause of Allah. And that's the hump. So why the rest of the pillars were removed? If you check this out, there is prayer, and then the top is jihad. Head of the matter is Islam. So this is Tawheed, then prayer, and then jihad. What happened to zakat, giving alms? Because in Islam, you have to save certain amount of money every year, and on that saved money, you have to pay 2.5%, not on your monthly wages. So zakat is not compulsory on everyone. Fasting is not compulsory on everyone, because fasting, number one, you are not supposed to be in a travel. You're not supposed to be traveling. In traveling, you can leave your fasting and perform it some other time. If you are sick, you are not supposed to do fasting. So there are conditions for fasting. When it comes to Hajj, there are conditions for Hajj. For example, you have to be sane, you have to be able to perform the Hajj, means physically you're able, and then you have to be financially able to perform the Hajj as well. So out of all of these 5 pillars, only 2 of them are necessary on each and every person. That is Tawheed, accepting Islam, and prayer. And right after that, the hump of the camel, the top of each and every Islamic thing is jihad. That you have to do jihad. Jihad fi sabilillah, in the ra of Allah, in the name of Allah. And what is the best jihad? Let's read again. The best jihad is to go and fight and shed blood and get your horses wounded. That's how jihad is mentioned in the hadiths as well. And I'm not even going to the Quran right now. Right now, I'm not even touching the Quran. We are talking on the very basics of jihad from the Sunnah, from the hadiths, from the mouth of Muhammad. If we look at another hadith, check this out, Riyadus Salihin. And like I said, I asked Allah Messenger, inform me on the act which caused me to enter. The same hadith, same hadith, same hadith, same hadith, same hadith, and same hadith. And here you go. It's pillar as-salat, and the highest point is jihad. There you go, fighting in the cause of Allah. Even the scholars who did the translations know what type of jihad we are talking about here. Exactly. They did the translation, not me. But what happened is, with the passage of time, they removed these brackets from certain locations, like the location in Miskat. They removed these brackets because it was exposing them, but they are still there in other locations because the same hadith is copied here by Riyadus Salihin. So, how can you actually deny the most important thing and say it is not what you think? What do you mean by not what you think? I think exactly how it is written. I think it exactly the way your Muhammad actually described it. Nothing more, nothing less. This is the fundamental of Islam's. And I'm not asking you to be fundamentalist, but obviously a Muslim who is fundamentalist means who actually accepts the Quran and the Hadith based on the fundamental teaching done by Muhammad and his companions and Allah, has to perform jihad, which is fighting in the cause of Allah. You can't live without it because that's the peak. So if you want to achieve the peak, you have to do this. If you have to be a good person, achieve the peak, you have to perform it. So every single person who is not a munafiq, i.e., hypocrite, there you go. And even in the paradise, so-called paradise of Muhammad, which is Jannah, there are specific location that is for Mujahideen. Check this out. The gardens of the Mujahideen, fighting for the cause of Allah, that is jihad. Kitabul Jihad wal Yasir, fighting for the cause of Allah, that is jihad. The grades of the Mujahideen, and then the Darajat of Mujahideen. And what is going to happen? Uh, the paradise has 100 grades which Allah has reserved for Mujahideen. 100 levels that is reserved specifically for the people who fight in the cause of Allah. Nobody else can go there. Who fights in his cause, and the distance between each of the two grades is like the distance between the heaven and the earth. Such huge. So when you ask Allah, ask for Al Firdaus. This is Al Firdaus, the best of the best level of Jannah. Best of the best, top notch level. The level of money that Elon Musk might not have, kind of a level. The Mark Zuckerberg level of money. Not even Tom Cruise level of money. The who's the owner of Microsoft? I forgot his name. Uh, that level of money. Jannatul Firdaus. Oh yes, penthouse. City said, yeah, top notch penthouse type of, which is the best and the highest part of paradise. Best and the highest is for the Mujahideen. Bill Gates, thank you. Yeah, Bill Gates. Thank you, Lydia. It is reserved for Mujahideen, the one who fights in the cause of Allah. Now, no matter how you look at these things, you will be amazed that these Muslims who are actually telling us, no, jihad is spiritual. It has nothing to do with fighting. It's doing the jihad with the Quran. I don't know whether I should call them what, hypocrites, or I don't know. Sometimes I forget an appropriate word to call them out for this. Liar is a very small word, CT. I would like liar, 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 pants on fire. That's like baby word. But they are intentionally lying. It is so intentional that they just want to hide the proper facts that Muhammad is actually given to each and every one. And right now these people are here, they are listening to my video because I have dislikes. The beautiful part is that you can actually see the dislike and you will know. But then again, you just simply cannot see them because they have no data to back up their claims. They will come up to you and give you a narration, but when I call them out, they'll run away like babies. They'll just simply run away like babies. Because Muhammad is saying something different versus what they are saying is something different. Right? Even if you go to Quran now, and let's go to chapter number 3, when they actually give us this chapter, and that he might make evident those who are hypocrites. So Allah is now going to tell you who are the munafiqeen, who are hypocrites. For it was said to them, come fight in the way of Allah. Check this out. The word jihad is not mentioned. Qatilu fi sabilillah.
قاتلوا
Fight in the way of Allah. And when you go to the tafsir, they are going to interchangeably use the word jihad. Interchangeably. And this is how it is happening. For the word jihad, in the Arabic, they'll use qatilu. For the word qatilu, they'll use the word jihad. And this is an interchangeable word for all of the tafsirs of over 130 plus verses in Quran. Or at least defend. So defend comes as in secondary in Islam. Jihad is not about defend. Jihad is actually going out and attacking others. Defend comes as a secondary thing. You have to at least defend. At least. That's a bare minimum kind of a thing. They said, if we had known a battle, we would have followed you. They were near to disbelief. So the kuffar, the Muslimin, are actually saying to them, there's no battle. Why should we go out and do fight? And they're like, they are near to disbelief that day, then to faith, saying with their mouth what was not in their heart, and Allah is most knowing of what they conceal. That's the reality of it. The next verse is even better than this. Check this out. Those who said about their brothers while sitting at homes, like they're sitting at home, they say, if they had obeyed us, they would have not been killed. So the people who went out with Muhammad got killed in battle. Obviously, in the battle, when you kill somebody, you might get killed as well. So they're like, see, we told you, don't go to the fighting, don't go to battle. What's the purpose of going out to the battle? Like, we need to live in peace and harmony. No. Allah saying, no. Say to them, then prevent death for yourself if you should be truthful. What do you mean by that? Prevent death for yourself? Allah, can you kill them right now? No. They'll die of old age, man. And that's how it is. And then the next verse is saying, check this beautiful. And never think of those who has been killed in the cause of Allah as dead. Rather, they are alive with their Lord receiving provision. So now Allah is going to is justifying, they are not dead, they are alive, they are in the paradise. You don't know, I am giving them food, you can't see that. They die, but I am giving them food and I'm giving them money and I'm giving them ladies and I'm giving them everything. That's Quran. And this is not even chapter number 9, this is chapter number 3, verse number 167 to 169. So the basic thing is to go out and fight, is to go out and just fight. Because in Islam, you always have to be in a fighting mode. Then comes the scholars of Islam, the teachers, the muftis. And a lot of people always say, non-Muslims usually come in and say, why don't this mufti goes to the battle? He sends others to the battle. He sends the people, the poor people to battle. He sends this to battle. He sends that to battle. But let me just tell you something. Muhammad was very, very cunning when it comes to battle, and he was battle sharp, cunning person, literally speaking. Now, this is the teaching of Muhammad, that all of you don't have to go to battle. Check this out. The Quran chapter 9, verse number 122. And it is not for the believers to go forth to battle all at once, for there should separate from every division a group to obtain understanding in the religion and warn their people when they return to them, and they might be cautious. So there'll always be certain group whose purpose is to educate people, to send them to battle. So there are always people who like, yes, we go to battle, go to battle, go to jihad, get 72 virgins, get the best and the best of heaven, get Jannatul Firdaus. That's what's written in Quran. Educators, they are not supposed to go. They are supposed to get people to go. They are supposed to make people go in jihad, fight and die in the cause of Allah. And that is why jihad is not a fardul ain. Fardul ain means a type of compulsion which has to be done by each and every person. No, jihad is not a fardul ain. It doesn't have to be done by each and every person. It's a fardul kafaya, means if a few will do jihad from a neighborhood, the whole neighborhood has performed it. One of the other example of fardul kafaya is the prayer of janazah, the funeral prayer. In funeral prayer, not everyone from that community has to go. If a few has went there and performed the funeral prayer, it has been performed by the whole community in whole. So there are two types of compulsory things in Islam. One is called the compulsory of ain, means each and every person has to do is fardul ain, and the other is called fardul kafaya, means even if some has done that, it has been done by everyone. And that is why when we look at these terrorist organizations, they are performing a jihad in every part of the era. There are always some terrorist organizations, Islamic jihadis, extremist organizations, who are following the words of Allah and performing it, so it could be performed by the whole nation as in whole. Some from Pakistan, some from Afghanistan, some from Indonesia, some from Iran, some from Syria, some from Saudi, some from Qatar, some like, so you'll see as in general, if you take the names of the 100 extremist Islamic jihadi organization, the terrorist organization that you call in the world, right now, you'll see each and every country has one or two. And what happens? They are doing the fardul of the community, the compulsion of the community they are fulfilling. They're performing the fardul kafaya. So everyone is like exempted now because some are always doing that. And this is the very, very basics, the absolute basics of jihad that I'm telling you right now, in the most appropriate and easiest way, so that everyone can comprehend the very basics of it. And obviously, there is so much more that I'm going to talk about today. And obviously, I invite all the Muslims to come up if they have the guts to do so. But before I move to the topic a little more in depth, we have Sarkat. Oh, Munna Bhai and Sarkat, who became our YouTube member, appreciated. We have Eternal Sanatan. Oh, wow, we have a red mirchi of 49.99, and it says, after watching a BBC documentary on the missing years of Jesus Christ, I now view Christ and Krishna as having a similar purpose in coming to the world. Do you believe the account of Jesus Christ missing years in the documentary if you have seen it? I have not seen it, number one. And number two, I do not know. What do you mean by missing years? So until I see the documentary, I do not know what it means by the missing years. And in that documentary, did they provide any evidence of the missing years? How you do that? Is there any evidence or just some statements? Atif Nadeem, thank you so very much for your super sticker. Appreciated. And thanks a lot, guys, for supporting. Thank you so very much. So, jihad, if we get back to it. Do you really believe still there is a better meaning for that? If you have a better meaning for that, what is the better meaning? And where are you getting this better meaning? Because so far that I've shown you, none of them gives you any better meaning, except for the fighting in the cause of Allah, except for killing in the cause of Allah, except for dying in the cause of Allah, except for living your life as a full-fledged jihadi in the cause of Allah. Do you get something other than that? Let me give it to you. Okay, let me give it to you so that you will see. There are so many verses about jihad in Quran, but then there are three initial verses which are pre-Hijra. Means these verses are supposedly before Hijra. And it says, so do not obey the disbelievers and do jihad, jahidu,
وجاهدهم
with it a great striving. Now, when it says the word bihi, wajahiduhum bihi, it says bihi,
به
it, some of the scholar says, is with Quran, with the words of Allah. So here you have to do verbal jihad. In Islam, there are three types of jihad. One is jihad bil lisan, is with the tongue. So you say to the people that you are doing wrong. So now, right now, this is Quran chapter number 22, where Muhammad is not that powerful right now. He hasn't performed the hijrah. He does not have the power to do fighting with the sword. So Muslims will always bring you this verse. Any Muslim who knows the Quran, he's going to bring you this verse. And he's going to say, we are talking about jihad with the tongue. Or he can go to chapter number 16, which is also a Makkan verse, and then gonna go say, then indeed your Lord to these who immigrate after they have been compelled and therefore fought and were patient, indeed your Lord after that is forgiving and mighty. And they say, yeah, if we have to do jihad, it's for defense. This is jahidu.
جاهدوا.
Here it says not jihad but fought, right? So now a defensive verse where the defense is now allowed. Now you are going from the verbal to at least defensive jihad, and then come the final verse, chapter number 29 verse 69, which is pre-hijra, and it says, and those who do jihad for us, we will surely guide them to our way, and indeed Allah is with the doer of good. Excuse me. Now this is the last verse where you will have some mixed feelings. And for this verse, a lot of Muslims scholars actually said that this verse, even though it is in a chapter number 29, which is pre-Hijra, but this verse probably have come to Muhammad after Hijra and it was placed here. That's it. Now, after these three verses, things go in a little tangent. We go to the time of Hijri, like you have performed the Hijra, migration, and the first chapter after migration was chapter number 2, verse number 280. See, in these, those who have believed and those who have immigrated and fought. Fought here is for the word jihad in the cause of Allah. Jahidu fi sabilillah. Now imagine even the translators are using the word fighting in translation for the word jihad. They are using it. So even in the last verse, if you check this out, it says strive. The word is what? Jahidu.
جاهدوا.
Translated as strive, making it soft for the people, for the non-Arabic speaker who can't even read the Arabic. They're like, it's strive. It has nothing to do with jihad. But then again, after the migration, fought in the cause of Allah is jahidu fi sabilillah. Check this out.
وجاهدوا.
Same. Wajahadu fi sabilillah.
وجاهدوا.
And the translator translated it as fought. Now, how will you actually interpret it in any other manner than how it is described here? There is no other way. Is there any other way to do this in some other manner? Because this is chapter number 2, verse number 218. But if we go just 2 verses before, the word jihad is not mentioned. The word kitab is mentioned.
القتال.
And then now you read the context. Check this out. Battle has been enjoyed upon you. Battle? Fighting. Not battle. It's not harb. It's not harb. It's kitab.
القتال.
Fighting. The translator actually made it look like, oh, it's a battle. No, it's fighting. It's not harb. And it says, fighting has been enjoyed upon you while it is hateful to you. While you hate it, while you hate fighting, but perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you. And perhaps you love a thing and that it is bad for you. So you love peace, but it's bad for you. You don't like fighting, but actually it is good for you. And Allah knows while you know. So while you do not know, Allah knows that the fighting is good for you. what? Islam is peace. Where? Allah is saying the Allah is saying it the other way around. For you, Islam is peace. For Allah, Islam is not peace. Allah, for you, Islam is peace. Okay. For Allah, no. Battle fighting has been enjoyed upon you. Now, if we go to the next verse, now check how fighting will translate into qital, or fighting will be translated into jihad. Now, here is because they ask you about the sacred month, about fighting therein. Say, fighting therein is great. Oh, by the way, now here it is fighting again. Check this out. The word is still qital, and now they are changing it into fighting as well. Here, man, they are so deceptive. Kul qitalu.
قتال.
Here it is fighting. In the previous word, they actually moved fighting into. Man, it's like I just hate this thing. Hold on. Let me do it in a different manner so that I can move up and down faster. 216 to 218. Hold on. Give me a sec. All right. Here it is qital
القتال.
and fighting. Yes, I told you. But the translator placed the word battle here. The very next verse, it is qital.
قتال.
And he is actually translating it as fighting. I'm loving this, man. These guys are so deceptive in translation. That's just amazing. They ask you about the sacred month, about fighting therein. Say, fighting is great. Therein is great. But averting from the way of Allah and disbelief in Him and Al-Masjid al-Haram and expulsion of the people from the greater evil in the sight of Allah. So fight even in the sacred month. Fight even in the sacred month. And fitna is greater than killing. So, the disbelief is greater than killing. So kill. And they will continue to fight until they turn back from your religion and you are able, and whoever averts from religion, etc., 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 etc. And then comes the next verse. And the next verse is, Indeed, those who have believed and those who have immigrated and fought in the cause of Allah, those accept the mercy of Allah. And this is how Allah changed before migration and after migration. Before migration and after migration. And that's how it is. This is how it is written in the Quran, and I'm not making this thing up. It's right here. And then Allah moves on to chapter number 8. And let's do 72 to 75. 72 to 75. Check this out. Check how Allah is going to explain jihad. Indeed, those who have believed and immigrated and fought with their wealth and lives. So now we are talking about fighting in two manner, or doing the jihad. This word fought is once again jihad. Here you go. And I'm giving you the verses of jihad. وَجَاهِدُوا
وجاهدوا
بِأَمْوَالِهِمْ وَأَنفُسِهِمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. What just happened? My computer is acting up. Like, let's reduce the zoom a little. Okay, I can. Okay. Who immigrated and fought with their wealth and their lives in the cause of Allah, and those who give shelter and aided, they are allies of one another. Those who believed and did not immigrate, for you there is no support of them until they immigrate. So the people who stayed in Makkah, nah, no support. Bye bye, tata. Why did you not migrate it with Muhammad? You wanna stay there? Stay and die. Stay and die. Where are the Muslimin who think jihad is not fighting? who think jihad is striving, internal striving. Because I am still not able to see the internal striving here. Except for the first two verses that I showed you. You cannot translate any other verse in that manner. And even Muhammad's hadiths are so clear on that. Those who disbelieved are allies of one another. That's it. Kuffar are just friends of each other. Now, but those who have believed, immigrated and fought in the cause of Allah again and again, fighting in the cause of Allah. It's like the similar verse, just two verses down, again the same thing. For them is forgiveness and noble provision. For who? Who fought in the cause of Allah, and those who gave shelter to the people who were fighting. And the next verse, and those who believe after the immigration and immigrated and fought with you, with Muhammad, they are of you. But those of even the blood relationships are more entitled in the decree of Allah. Indeed, Allah is knowing. Who fought with you, fought with you. Wajahidu ma'akum,
معكم
with you, fighting with Muhammad. How else you can actually translate these verses other than these? There's no other way. There literally is no other way. And then people say, oh no, you are hate preacher. I'm hate preacher. Am I? Let me tell you, you think you can go to heaven without dying or without fighting? You are an idiot. Chapter number 3, verse number 142. Or do you think that you will enter paradise while Allah has not yet made evident those of you who fight in the cause of Allah and made evident to those who are steadfast? If you want to go to heaven, you know what you need to do? Fight. Do jihad. The translation fight is for the word jihad. Yeah, check this out. Jahidu.
جاهدوا.
You think you can enter paradise? No. You have not been tested by fighting in the cause of Allah yet. So first you have to fight. You will be tested to fight in the cause of Allah. Once you pass this test, only then talk about going into heaven. Only then talk about fighting. Only then talk about going in heaven. It's not even made evident to you yet. And wait. Do sabr. Be from the
الصابرين.
sabirins. Be from the steadfast. So wait. Allah is going to give you a fight. Then once the fight comes up, then go and fight and kill. And if you get killed, then you can go to heaven, not before. Not before. And then you say, oh no, jihad is not this, jihad is not that. And the next verse is from chapter number 60, which is very important as well. What is happening here? You know, this is the verse which is very dangerous, very dangerous. That's how it is called. O you who have believed, do not make my enemies and your enemies as allies, extending to them affection while they have disbelieved in what come to you of truth, having driven out the Prophet and yourself, because you believed in Allah, your Lord. If you have come out for jihad, now imagine, now they are deceiving, i.e., fighting or striving. This is stupidity. If you read the tafsir for this, what happened is Muhammad did a uh, agreement with the kuffar that there will be no fighting, no bloodshed against Muslims and the kuffar. What happened is a tribe in a very distance, a few guys fought with each other of a Muslim tribe. Some say that was a dispute over some water, and some give you other story. But there was a dispute between two people. They fought. Someone died. The other guy died. He brought his friend. They fought. Some died, etc., etc. The Muslims went to Muhammad in Medina and they said, "Oh man, the Quraysh actually fought with us. They killed our people." And Muhammad said, "Shh! Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Our agreement has been broken. Shh! Don't tell. Let's start bringing people for the fighting, and let's conquest Makkah." And he said, "Shh! Don't tell anybody." Now, there was a person over there who was one of the immigrants. He actually went, he actually ordered his slave, "Hey, go tell the Makkans that your agreement has been broken because of XYZ tribe. It's broken, and Muhammad is going to attack on you." And he wanted to give this information to his blood relatives so that they could actually escape from the Makkah. And some people caught this news and they picked up the slave, either beaten him or killed him, depending on which tafsir you actually read. And Muhammad attacked Makkah with 10,000 people suddenly. And we are talking about those days when you do not have a proper army in any city. When the battle happens, you call in enforcement from the area around you. Makkan had no idea that Muhammad is about to attack them. Makkans were living under a false agreement, which agreement is supposedly broken by a fight between two people of two different tribes on for something else which has nothing to do with Islam. But supposedly it was broken. And that goes to chapter number 9, verse number 1, 2, 3, 4. The agreement has been broken. The agreement has been broken. That's like, but how? Where? It has nothing to do with the agreement. It's a fight between two groups. And that's it. And that got Muhammad the chance to attack Makkah. And he took that chance. And he actually took that chance. Give me a second. I'll have a short break and I'll be right back.
Hello Habibis and Shikhntika lovers. If you would like to support Adam Seeker, please go to Patreon and show your support. www.patreon.com/Adam Seeker. We thank you all for your kindly support and enjoy the video. By the way, this was a commercial break. And also, please don't forget to comment and like and also subscribe. You know, it's free, Habibis. Don't be tight like Muhammad and Muhammad's father, Abdullah, and Abdullah's father. Anyway, let's don't go in there. God bless you all. Please go to Patreon and make your donations. Only if you would like to support. We don't force like Muhammad.
All right, welcome back. Prophet was not a child molester, as the Hadith says. Hey, Mr. Sayyid, like, think what you are even writing. You are agreeing with me that the Sahih Hadith says that Muhammad was a child molester. Like, man, thank you so very much. for agreeing at least that your prophet was a child molester according to the hadith. So if he was not a child molester, you just assume that he was not a child molester because all the hadiths say that he was a child molester. Unbelievable. You are unbelievable. Your brain is in your feet, I think. I wanted to say something else, but I gotta censor it. Kancho mein hai. Anyhow, man, that is crazy. So now this verse is coming. O you who have believed, do not take my enemies and your enemies, means the kuffar Makkah, extend their defection, don't show them their love, disbelieve, but some truth has come, now go and do jihad. And this is the verse on which Muhammad started preparing for the attack on Makkah. And that's the verse of jihad. And then we go a little further according to Revelation, which is chapter number 4. And here, look at the things, how things are going to change. And it says, ooh, la, 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 la. Not equal are those believers remaining at home. The people who remain at home are not equal, other than the disabled and the Mujahideen who strive in the cause of Allah with their wealth and their lives. So the people who remain at home, except the disabled ones, except for the disabled one, the people who remain home are not equal to the Mujahideens who perform jihad in the cause of Allah with their wealth and their lives. So it's clear that Allah is talking about the people who fight in the cause of Allah because it's with their wealth and their lives. Allah has preferred the Mujahideen through their wealth and their lives over those who remained behind by a degree. So the Mujahideen has a degree above it. So these fundamentalist, so-called extremist jihadis, the plural of jihadi is Mujahideen, have a degree over the rest of the Muslims who remain at home and don't perform the jihad. And to all, Allah has promised the best reward, but Allah has preferred the Mujahideen over those who remain behind with a greater reward. Okay? So there has to be certain people who remain behind because they are disabled or something else. But the great reward is for the Mujahideen. You can't get by that. You have to perform it. Why? We go to another verse of Jihad, chapter number 47, verse number 31. And look how it's going to add to it. And we will surely test you until we, as in Allah, make evident those who strive, means do jihad, among you for the cause of Allah, and the patient, and we will test your affair. The jihad is a test. You got to do it. If this world is a test, jihad is the bigger test. So you have to perform it if you want to go to heaven. That's how it is. You can't run away from this very basic words and the ahadith and the Quranic verses. You can't run behind it. Every type of jihad, Black Mamba. Here we are talking about the jihad by fighting with the sword. Yeah, they are especially Huris, the special versions that Allah made for the people who perform jihad and die. They'll get so many of them. And if we go forward, go to chapter number 22, we'll have this beautiful verse and you'll love it. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, what should you do? Oh people you have believed, bow down in prostration and worship your Lord and do good that you may be succeeded. What type of good? Check this out. Check this out. What type of good? Wajahidu fi sabilillah, and perform jihad for Allah. Look how they are changing the translation of the same word. They put jihad as in fighting somewhere, as strive somewhere, as fight somewhere. It's just and battle somewhere. This Sahih International Translator is the most deceptive translation in the history of deceptive translations, because it's just unbelievable. Like they're changing the same word with different English words wherever they feel like. Jihad for Allah with the jihad due to Him. He has chosen you and has not placed you in the religion any difficulty. Jihad is not difficulty, okay? Because Allah has prescribed it upon you, and something that you think is good is not good, and something that you think is bad is actually good. We already read this. The religion of your father Ibrahim named you Muslim before, and in this that the messenger may be witness over you and you may be witness over the people. So establish prayer and give zakat and hold fast to Allah, your protector and excellent in protector and excellent in helper. You gotta do that. Without this, there is no salvation in Islam. The true salvation in Islam is fight in the cause of Allah and die, and you will have the salvation. You know, in Islam, there's a Muslim and a Mu'min, and there's a difference between Muslim and a Mu'min as well. Allah says, Innamal mu'minun allazina amanu billahi wa rasulihi. Who are the Mu'mins? Allah is going to describe who are the Mu'mins. The believers, the Mu'min, the extreme Muslims, the best of the best Muslims are Mu'min, are only the one who have believed in Allah and His Messenger, and then does not doubt in doing jihad with their property and their lives. Bi amwalihim, with their wealth. I don't know why I actually write property, it's just stupidity. Bi amwalihim, with their wealth.
بأموالهم.
Properties, stupid, idiot translation. Wajahidu, and fight with their wealth and their nafs and their lives. Fi sabilillah, in the cause of Allah. So even if you can't fight physically, you have to give money to the fighter, to the Mujahideen, because obviously without the money you can't fight, right? So you can't fight any battle without the money. So Allah has given you the provision to fight with the money and their lives in the cause of Allah. It is those who are truthful. You can only be extremely truthful person if you do this proper jihad with your wealth and with your money and with your lives. Without that, there is no salvation. You are not a true Mu'min. You're not a true Muslim. And then you think you have to be nice with the non-Muslims. You have to be nice. Oh, we love everyone. We love kuffar. We love everyone. No, you guys are hate preacher. And every now and then I receive the word, you hate preacher. You hate preacher. I hate preacher, or Allah is the hate preacher. Check this out. And it says, you and Nabi, O Prophet, do jihad against the disbeliever and the hypocrites, the munafiqeen who are not going with you in the battle, and be harsh upon them. Their refuge is hell, and wretched is the destination. So Muhammad, who is supposedly the Rahmatul lil Alameen, has to fight, do jihad with the kuffar and the munafiqeen, with the non-Muslims, the disbelievers, and the hypocrites. And what does he has to do?
وغلظ.
He has to be harsh with them, very harsh. Oh. And then somebody say, oh no, blah 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 blah. I have no idea how to do that. I have literally no idea how they get by this. Somebody has to really stupid to say to me otherwise when all of these verses of the Quran is saying otherwise. And I'm reading these verses in the order of revelation. These are the verses in the order of revelation. And let's look at a journal jihad. You know what a journal jihad is? A very standard journal jihad. Chapter number 61, verse number 11. Check this out. A very journal. You who believed in Allah and His Messenger and do jihad in the cause of Allah with your wealth and your life. Thank you. Same. Bi amwalikum.
بأموالكم.
Your wealth, not property. That is best for you if you only knew. If you only knew what is best. You don't know what is best for you. Allah knows what is best for you. And what is best for you is to go and fight. Or if you can't, then give wealth to the people who are fighting. You buy halal food, you are actually donating the jihadis. You are actually donating to the jihadis. That's what it is. And a lot of non-Muslims in the West actually doesn't care. They just eat, whether it's halal meat or not. They don't care. And they don't care. But we should care. Because in one way or another, you are supporting these jihadis, that's fundamentalist, extremist people. Yeah, please share the link with the people. I don't there are very few at this moment who are watching, and give me a Muslim, a solid Muslim, a mufti, a Maulana. Where are they hiding? Because as soon as I finish my stream, someone will actually comment. No, you're wrong, Adam. You're wrong. He hasn't even watched the video. He won't even watch the video, but I've shown it. But he's gonna have a you're wrong. I'm wrong, but he doesn't have anything to give me that I'm wrong. And when I'm live, they don't have the guts. What is the right path? Islam. Let's go to chapter number 5. We are going close to chapter number 9. This is the third last chapter of the Quran, chapter number 5. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu. O people who have believed, fear Allah and seek the means to Him and do jihad in His cause that you may be succeeded. وَجَاهِدُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. You want success? Go fight. And I know they're changing the translation every time. Sometimes you read jihad, it's fighting. Sometimes you read jihad and it will be strife. Stupidity. The English translations are the mean to deceive the non-Muslims who can't read the Arabic. It's a mean to deceive them. Nothing else, nothing more. And chapter number 9 is a killing chapter. Chapter number 9, verse number 16, 19, 20, 22, 24, 41, 44, 73, and 73 actually 973 connects to 303, chapter number 3, verse number 167. And then it connects to chapter number 9, verse number 81 to 84, which in context will take you to 86, 87, and 88. And it's just crazy how much it's described over here. And even like chapter number 9, verse number 41 to 42, like Muhammad is going all the way to the book. In chapter number 9, verse number 48, it's talking about let's go to jihad for the book. And if you're not going to jihad for the book, you know, I'll give you blondies over there. Come with me and get blondies. And then in verse number 44, it's like the people who loves the prophet, they don't even ask permission. They don't ask permission. 944, they don't ask permission. They just go. They just go with Muhammad. Let's bring this one, because chapter number 9 has so many verses on jihad, like it's just unbelievable. But let's look this one. Check this one. Those who believe in Allah and the last day would not ask permission of you to be excused from jihad. Striving, what the hell, man? Fighting, yujahidu.
Yujahidu.
But if they ask permission for eternal jihad, they have to ask permission from Muhammad? No. It has nothing to do with internal jihad to seek permission. It has everything to do with fighting, with their wealth and with their life. And that's the reality of it. And that's how it is. Black Mamba, my channel is very clear into this. I do every Monday 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Thursday 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. These are my 2 English streams. And then I do my Saturday stream every Saturday 9 p.m. India time. So these are very standard, man. Come on. If you don't know that still, I'm amazed that you don't know. And they play in this translation as striving. And then striving, but in bracket, i.e. fighting. You have to ask permission for striving. Because now check this out. The people who stayed behind and did not go for jihad, what are those people? 981. Check this out. Those who stayed behind, rejoicing they're staying home after the messenger of Allah has departed, and dislike to do jihad with their wealth and with their life in the cause of Allah, said, do not go forth in the heat. Say to them, the hellfire is more intensive in heat. So the people who did not want to go all the way far from Makkah to do fighting for Muhammad, and they say it's too hot, they stayed back. Muhammad tell them, hell is more hotter than this earth. Okay, hell is very hot. It's much more hotter. It is much more hotter than this. And then just 2 verses down in verse number 84, what is Allah saying? Ya Muhammad, these people who stayed behind and did not go with you, don't offer their funeral prayer. And do not pray their funeral prayer, O Muhammad, over any of them who has died ever or stand at this grave. Indeed, they disbelieved in Allah and His Messenger and died while they were definitely disobedient. Who are these people? Who did not go with Muhammad? Who did not go with Muhammad? Check this out. So, what is Allah saying? The hell is more hot. You think you should go to jihad with Muhammad? You do not want to go to jihad with Muhammad because it's too hot out there? Hell is more intensive in heat. And then Allah is talking about, so let them laugh a little and etc. and earn hell and all that. And Allah should return you to a fraction of them, and then they will ask you permission to go to the battle and say, you will not go out with me ever, and you will never fight with me to the enemy. Indeed, you are steadfasting and stilling at home. Those who stayed behind, Ya Muhammad, do not even offer their funeral prayer if they die, ever. So Muhammad, if they die before you, because Muhammad did not live after this verse for more than 6 to 8 months. After this verse came, Muhammad died almost 6 months later. So Muhammad, don't offer their prayer. Don't even offer their funeral prayer. And by the way, these people did not die before Muhammad. A lot of people survived way after Muhammad, and I hope they did not go to Muhammad's funeral. And by the way, these are the people probably who are like Let's leave this stupid idiotic cult of Muhammad, because obviously he's dead now, and a lot of people would have left it. Even the people who did jihad was doing it because of Muhammad. Now Muhammad is dead, they went off. They're like, okay, bye bye, tata. And then Abu Bakr had to do 1.5 years of fighting for the people who left Islam, and he called these battles Harbur Ridda, the battles of apostasy. Harb means battle. Ridda means the people who leave, who rejects. Harbur Ridda. And that's how it is. And don't offer this funeral. Yeah, right, Muhammad. You are going to live forever. And he died way earlier than these people. This is the reality of jihad. The absolute reality of jihad, where you cannot go away from it. Yeah, game over, Mr. Sayyid. Game over. Your Allah is a fighter, a jihadi, absolute maniac when it comes to Islam and his Allah. That's what he preached. Go out, fight. It's not about defense. You have to do at least defense. Defending is the bare minimum. At least defend. Ha ha. There you go. At least defend. That's the bare minimum. You have to go out and fight. Qatilu fi sabilillah. Come and fight in the way of Allah, or at least defend. Defending is bare minimum. Chapter number 3, verse number 167. That's a bare minimum. The absolute minimum is to defend. But if you are a true mu'min, a true believer, you have to go out and fight. And that's how it is. That's the way it is written. So I hope you guys had some really nice informative session today, where I've shown you a lot of verses, a lot of hadiths in this subject. Let's take some super chats. Shukla ji said, good morning, Adam bhai. Good morning to you as well, my friend. Appreciate it. As always, Eternal Sanatan said, Adam, is there any story or evidence in the Bible regarding Jesus Christ between the ages of 12 and 29? Yeah, you can see Gospel of Luke. There are some stories over there about the early life, but we don't have a lot of early life. But when he was even a child, a teenager, 12, 13, 14, whatever, he was preaching in the synagogue in Jerusalem, and his mother and father were trying to figure out where he was and all. So there were quite a lot, it's a very few details that are there, not a lot, but he spent most of his time in Jerusalem and near Jerusalem. That's what it is. And otherwise, if you have some 1st century or 2nd century or 3rd century other evidences out of the Bible, yeah, give it to me. Let's see. CK01 said, hi Adam, please react to a video. Milo Yiannopoulos, school Australia Muslim activist. This video changed my perspective about Islam. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know. I have no idea what you're saying. So CK01, if it has changed your perspective about Islam, that is good. I am telling you what it says in the Quran and Hadith, and you should have already a very good perspective about Islam when I am talking about these things over here. If you studied from there, then I don't know what it is. I have no idea. My logo is on my screen, left side already. How else can I make my logo? It's on the thumbnail as well, but I'm wearing a cap, a topi, a Muslim topi, because, jihad is spiritual. I was trying to figure out what jihad is spiritual or not. And that's the reality of it. As always, English stream is supposed to be short, precise, to the point, so that it could reach many, many people. And here I will end this stream. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you so very much for being a part of this stream. You have learned almost 50 plus verses about jihad. You have learned a lot of hadiths about jihad. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I haven't even gone in the tafasir. I haven't even gone in the exegesis of these verses. Because once we go into those details, it will be devastating, much more devastating, because the context in the tafsir is far more worst than the Quranic ayahs. But once again, a Muslim can go, I don't believe this verse, and I don't believe this tafsir, and I don't accept this hadith, and I don't accept this tafsir. My friend, if you don't accept anything, and yet you accept Quran, still it is more than sufficient to show how stupidly killer, terrorist kind of a extreme behavior that is mentioned in the Quran. And that's what it is. And that is why Muhammad died a very brutal death. So brutal that he was died in a way where he was so sick because of the poison given by a Jewish lady. He couldn't even walk properly. He was urinating on his deathbed. He People did not even give him pen to write his last will, and he died a miserable death. Christ said, the one who lives by the sword dies by the sword. That's exactly what happened with Muhammad. The way he lived and did to others, that's exactly what happened with him eventually. He lived by the sword and he died by poison given to him by a slave that he made after the Battle of Khaybar. And the lady said, if you are a prophet, Allah is going to save you from this poison. And if you are not a prophet, you'll die by this poison. And the prophecy of that Jewish lady fulfilled. He died because of that poison. A miserable death. That's the reality of it. Thank you so very much for being here. Please share the stream with all of your friends, especially the Muslim friends who thinks jihad is striving and it has nothing to do with fighting and all of that. Please share it with everyone. As always, have a blessed day, evening, or night, wherever you are. Take care. See you next time on Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, not Pacific, and the next Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Take care. Yeshua Akbarul Azim.